I'm Mike Colizzi of Kashong Glen Vineyards here on the west side of Seneca Lake. I worked for Cornell University as a viticulture educator, working with all the local wineries and vineyards around the area. This grape growing is a passion of mine, and I've been doing it since I was about 14 years old. Got my start working at Fox Run Vineyards just south of here. I grow Riesling because it's a variety that grows well in the Finger Lakes, especially on this site. We have shallower soils here. There's spots in the vineyard where I have only 8 inches of topsoil before you get to the shale bedrock. So the Riesling really likes that shale. It brings out a lot of the minerality in it, and it's a great specific, great variety to grow on this site. We have a mix of Honeoye and Lansing gravelly silt loams. I think that in vineyards like this, where the soils are very shallow, they can bring out a lot of complexity and different flavors in the wine, especially where they're stressed. We do have plans to plant more Riesling in the future. Around here we have about 10 acres that we could expand onto, and I'm looking for other sites as well that are of the similar soil characteristics. I think that Seneca Lake helps us. This past winter we got into some real bad times when there was some real cold temperatures, and we saw -8, -9 throughout the vineyard, and being this close to the water really helps to protect us from those cold temperatures. It buffers the temperature so it doesn't get as cold as it would up the hill a little ways. And it's nice actually in the summertime also. It helps to keep us from getting really, really hot. In this vineyard we have everything planted on 3-foot spacing between vines by 9 foot between the rows. I think that being such a low vigor site, the 3-foot spacing really helps to fill the canopy and make up for the lack of vigor in the soil. So if you planted these on traditionally 6-foot spacing or 8-foot, which they usually do around here, you'd have a hard time filling the canopy with vines because the vine just doesn't have enough energy in itself. So you need to pack vines in to help fill the trellis. Here I strive for sustainable viticulture, so that means being real conscious of what I spray, how much of it I spray, when I spray it. I use IPM practices, so integrated pest management, to scout to make sure that I don't have, that my populations of pests aren't getting too high. I'm always looking at the threshold to make sure that I'm applying the proper pesticide at the right time. And I also don't use any insecticides or herbicides in this vineyard at all. So all my weed control is mechanical cultivation. Think that makes for a better end product in my mind. I use a lot of compost and manure here. Behind me is a compost pile that I have breaking down. It's manure from a local farm mixed with hay and straw from the fields out back. We incorporate that into our vineyard practices every year. Because we have such shallow soils around here, I need to do something to build the organic matter in the soil, and I think this is the perfect mix for here. Right.